We posted here specialists, and those specialists are also providing specialized services. We have a lab that is offering all the services except COVID.
Museveni told residents that infrastructure development is part of government work, adding that Ugandans should also do theirs.
Yensonga mbagamba nti olubimbi olw'amaninki olwokuna kwe kuwagira NRM kubanga NRM esobola kukuuma ddembe wano. N'olwekyo nsanyusa okujja wano okutongeza eddwaliro n'okutema evvunuke ku luguudo olw'Emityana.
Museveni assured Mityana residents that no one will disrupt Uganda's peace during elections, urging all Ugandans to turn out and vote.
Abatabuzi ne balowooza nti kyangu, naye munange wekyetaagisa abazirwanako weebali bagenda kulwana ku nsi eno nga bwe twagirwanako luli. So n'olwekyo tewabawo atya mpulira mbatiisa abatiisa temutya mugende mulonde. Kati bwe bwawo akukanga tegeeza bano abapoliisi bwe bati baliko kye bakoze tegeeza omubaka omukulembeze wa NRM agenda kufuna ekubo atutegeeze olya akutiisatiisiza tugenda kumunoonya abeere mu kinnya abeere wa tugenda kumufuna.
Museveni will Thursday launch Kayunga Referral Hospital before proceeding to Komi. Bernard Higa, UBC News, Mityana.
Now, polling materials to be used during the 2021 general elections have been dispatched to their destinations across the country, with the Electoral Commission pledging minimal late delivery of the polling materials. At least 9 districts have already received the voting materials that were dispatched in the first phase.
The Electoral Commission has dispatched ballot boxes to the districts of Busia, Butambala, Mukono, Iganga, Karenga, Kasese, Agago, Sironko and Terego. Packing and sealing of other ballot boxes continues until all districts are covered before polling day. This is being conducted at a warehouse located in Banda, Kampala. Upon packing the ballot papers in a rectangular box, they are then put in a metallic safe, which is sealed thereafter.
This dispatch is designed to facilitate timely delivery of polling materials to all districts and eventually to enable timely conduct of the elections across the country.
NRM, FDC and Independent Joseph Kabuleta were represented by their agents to witness the exercise. These were availed with the packing lists.
The Commission wishes to remind parties and candidates who may wish to accompany these polling materials to officially appoint in writing the agents who will follow the dispatch so that they are cleared by the Commission, including the particulars of the vehicles they will be using.
The ballot boxes will be guarded by respective district police commanders and returning officers of the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission will update the nation on the measures of adhering to the guidelines since curfew is still on. However, Byabakama questions the optimism of protecting votes by supporters. According to the Electoral Commission roadmap, councillors, special interest groups that include elderly, youth and people living with disability will be voted on 11th January. On the 12th of January, municipal, division and district special interest groups shall be voted. This is the official day to stop campaigning. On the 14th of January, presidential and parliamentary elections will conclude the polling exercise. Ivan Kahwa and Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC News.
Now, the Bamasaba are mourning demise of their cultural leader, locally known as Umukoka, who passed away earlier this week. The Secretary General of Enzo Yamasaba for Bugesu Cultural Institution, Geoffrey Weponde, says that the Umukoka has been suffering from hypertension.
The Bamasaba are mourning the demise of their cultural leader, Umukoka Sir Bob Mushkori II, who passed on early this week. The Secretary General Inzu Yamasaba, Geoffrey Wepondi, announced his death. Wepondi says the Umukoka has been in and out of Kampala International Hospital and Nakasero Hospital after being diagnosed of hypertension.
Has been having a bit of sickness, hypertensive tendencies, which we have been managing, the doctors have been managing. I think about 3 months ago, he was admitted in Kampala over the same issues, but he recovered. He was doing well.
Wepondi also revealed that the arrangements for the send-off of the late Bob Mushkori II is underway. He said the cultural institution is in talks with the family to set the burial program.
He has a family in America, in Canada, and they're thinking they can be here in about 2 weeks. So we are going to arrange in a way that we can bury him about after 2 weeks. Or if they arrive earlier, it may be earlier than that.
Born in 1948, Bob Mushkori spent most of his time in Canada. He was elected in 2016 to serve the Bamasaba as Umukoka, a term he served for 5 years. Mushkori has passed on at the age of 72, leaving behind over 10 children. In December last year, Sir Bob Mushkori graced the elections of his successor, Wagabyarire Amlan John, who was elected as the third Umukoka. He was the cultural leader of the Bagiso resident in Mbale, Sironko, Bulambuli, Namisindwa, Manafa, and the Bududa districts.
He has worked very well his 5 years, and he has been guiding the community to be united, to be developmental, but also encouraged unity in our community, both in Uganda, Kenya, and the diaspora.
The Bamasaba are organized in 3 houses that include Mubuya, Mwambu, and Wanale, with over 50 clans, and the cultural leadership rotates around the 3 houses, each taking a term for 5 years. The body of the fallen Umukoka is currently being kept at Mbale City Mortuary, waiting burial at an agreed date. Mutonyi Hilda, UBC.
May his soul rest in eternal peace. Now, women political leaders in the Eastern District of Butaleja have agreed to work together to secure victory for the ruling National Resistance Movement. Incumbent area woman Member of Parliament Millie Mugenyi, who lost in the party primary elections, now proclaims support for the flag bearer Florence Nabanda. This political maturity was made public as the NRM National Vice Chairperson for Eastern Uganda, Captain Mike Mukula, has rallied residents in the area to support the party flag bearers.
The elections have been stolen, they have been rigged.
According to renowned East African Pan-Africanist, socio-economic and political commentator, Patrice Lodge Otieno Lumumba,
they are never lost, nor won.
It is rare for Africans to concede after losing elections.
Do you ever hear in many African countries that a loser has picked a phone and called the winner and said, brother, we had a good competition, the people spoke?
However, a new departure from this notion has been experienced in the Bukedi sub-region of Eastern Uganda. Mire Mugeni, the current woman Member of Parliament for Butaleja district, chose a different path after losing NRM party primary elections to Florence Andiru Nebanda.
I lost the NRM primaries and I did not return as an independent.
Florence Nebanda won by elections for Butaleja woman MP seat in February 2013, following the death of her sister Serena Nebanda in December 2012. About 3 years later, Mire Mugeni would emerge from the journalism fraternity to unseat Florence Nebanda in the 2016 general elections. Without giving up, Florence Nebanda returned in 2020 to reclaim the NRM flag from Mire Mugeni, an election whose outcome Mugeni accepted.
Because I know the rules that govern my party, NRM, that when somebody doesn't make it on primaries, you come and support the flag bearers. And that is what I'm doing.
As her support paves way for Nebanda back to Parliament, poor road network and access to clean water in Butareja remain serious challenges.
So our road has been in a manifesto for a very long time and they've not yet fulfilled that promise. So we seek to ask government to at least this time round fulfill that promise.
So the biggest challenge has been that the MPs that have been there have not been doing enough to remind the president and also to follow up with the relevant officers to ensure that this road is worked upon.
These, among other concerns, are what Captain Mike Mukula responded to as he campaigned for the NRM flag bearers in the district.
Bakoze wali na kumali paka lwakaka na mutumba nga emyezi gino gisookera ddala ngendo kuleeta General Katumba aje wano ababuulire era ku mwezi muno tenaba kuggwa aje wano ababuulire ennaku ki bwagenda okuteeka oluguudo olwo balutongoze.
He promised a developed road network in the area as stipulated in the 2021 to 2026 NRM manifesto.
Era kiri mu manifesto si kya kusuubiza era kyekigenda okuteeka kyetwagala is to see that the road construction is fast-tracked.
As for Mire Mugeni, whose membership to Parliament ends in May 2021, it is not the end of the road, but the beginning of the highway.
I'll keep on, going on with my program of Mire Foundation, which I established myself, and I started with 100 girls, and many of them have benefited from it. They have qualified. They are now working by themselves.
Uganda will go to the presidential and parliamentary polls on January 14th, 2021. Last-minute campaigns continue, with National Resistance Movement Party seeking to retain the presidency and other positions at all levels. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you very much, Henry Okrut. There now National Resistance Movement campaigns in Tororo district are in high gear, with the chairperson NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tanga Odoi, leading the way. Odoi says the move is meant to garner as many votes as possible for both the party flag bearer Yoweri Museveni and all the other NRM candidates vying for elective positions within the district.
The chairman, National Resistance Movement Electoral Commission, is rallying Tororo voters to support the NRM in the forthcoming elections. Dr. Tango Doi told NRM flag bearers, with hundreds of youth believed to have crossed recently from NUP to NRM party at an event held at Peta Community Secondary School.
We want to take our youth out of the thinking that people power is their power. There's no reality in sloganeering people power, our power. There's no reality. The slogan is empty. There's no accompanying ingredients, and therefore we don't want our youth to be hoodwinked into that fallacy. And of course, lastly, Uganda has been stable and the youth have grown in a period of stability. These youth here have never tasted war.
These were dressed in yellow before being dispatched off by the chairperson to go and begin door-to-door campaigns across the district.
Without peace, you cannot make money to provide for your family. Without peace, you cannot have stability in a family. Peace is what brings development. And I want to call upon these politicians who are empty in their philosophizing. They are simply hoodwinking the people into the wrong direction. And let me assure NRM, Tororo, this time we are going to win Tororo by over 80% for the president. I can tell you.
The move, according to Dr. Tanga, is to enable NRM win massively in Tororo district.
will launch in one place and they go door to door as individuals. They don't go door to door as a big group. They go door to door because they live in the community, they know the people in the community, they move from their homes to the neighbors. Politics of a scientific type is convincing your immediate neighbor about the good of NRM.
Well, politics as we end a first segment. Let's take a short break. We will return with more news. Stay with us.
You may have heard of physical distancing. This means keeping at least 2 arms length apart from other people at all times to reduce the spread of coronavirus. But why is it so important? Without physical distancing, each person infected with coronavirus will infect 2 to 3 others. Each of these people go on to infect 2 to 3 more, who each go on to infect another 2 or 3 people, and so on. Within a month, the infection will spread from 1 to 406 people. But if each person halves the number of people they come into close contact with, the number of infections drops dramatically. Each person would only infect 1 or sometimes 2 people, and each of those infected people would only infect 1 or occasionally 2 more. So the disease spreads much more slowly. In a month, the infection would only spread from 1 to 15 people. That's the power of physical distancing. Keep at least 2 arms length distance from as many people as you can to reduce infections and save lives. That way you protect yourself, the people you love, and your country.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Good morning, Uganda. Today is a great day to make someone's day. A wonderful day to rewrite the future. Today is a beautiful day to light up their world. A marvelous day to make a brand new start. The perfect day to make the world smaller. Uganda, today isn't just another day. Today is your day. Airtel Money, with you always. Airtel Money, quick, secure, borderless.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Fruitvale Fruit Juice. Our journey begins in orchards where some of the best fruits are grown. Fruitvale Fruit Juice is 100% natural with no added sugar, filled with a wholesome goodness of vitamins and minerals that nourish your body and delight your taste buds. Enjoy real fruit juice in orange, tomato, apple, beetroot with mango, lemon mint with cucumber, mango, berry and tropical variants. Grab your Fruitvale 100% fruit juice today. Available in all leading supermarkets.
Double data. Airtel introduces double data, the biggest deal ever on smartphones in Uganda. Buy a smartphone, 3G or 4G, and get 100% data bonus from Airtel. Airtel is giving you 100% bonus data on all weekly and monthly bundles for every new smartphone connected to Airtel for the first 3 months. Dial *175*9# to enjoy double data. Double data, double data. Oh, bino bye biruma baya ye. Airtel, the smartphone network, regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
On arrival at the polling station on polling day, wash your hands, wear your face masks, and observe social distance to limit the spread of COVID-19. Ensure that your hands are dry before you receive a ballot paper from the polling official. Mark your candidate using the authorized mark of choice. Use either a tick or a thumbprint. Place the authorized mark of your choice in the corresponding space for your candidate using a pen or a stamp pad provided by the Electoral Commission. Ensure that your tick or thumbprint does not cross to the other candidate's space. If that happens, the vote is invalid and therefore will not be counted for your candidate. Do not use any other mark other than the tick or the thumbprint to vote for your candidate. If you do so, your vote will be invalid. This message is from the Electoral Commission.
Welcome back. We still have about 6 minutes to go, and we've entered into a business segment, starting off with Kampala Capital City Authority that says their redevelopment plan of the old taxi park is close to completion. The redevelopment of this facility started early May 2020. This is part of KCCA's plans to decongest and organize the city. Let's hear more in this report.
I'm very appreciative to His Excellency the President for stopping impunity and exploitation in these markets. They're really excited about it. There's no hawking in tax parks. Tax parks are for vehicles, transport vehicles to take people and people to board them without disturbance. We have not accepted hawking within the city. Right now, they're in the wrong place.
The Kampala Capital City Authority Head of Public and Corporate Affairs, Daniel Nwabine, told UBC TV that the renovation works are currently at 95% and completion is expected anytime from now.
We are at about 95%. We have finalized with the carpet area, and very soon, pretty soon, we're going to be using the tax park again.
The redevelopment was to include excavation and dispose of the existing material, installation of underground drainage lines, rock fill, and construction of new foundation layers for the carpet and surfacing of the constructed layers with asphalt concrete tarmac. The new carpet will have markings to describe areas for parking and for taxi and pedestrian movements. The new boundaries will help prevent mud from washing onto the carpet, as has been the case, while lighting and some waiting sheds for passengers will be installed. Redevelopment of the facility was expected to last in 3 months, and the entire project costed $3.1 million, which is approximately 12 billion Uganda shillings.
We pay for the design, we pay for the surfacing of the road, we pay for the street light, we pay for the walkway, we pay for even the corridor, the islands. So it's a continent.
The upgrade commenced in May 2020, spearheaded by Sterling Civil Engineering Limited and Chiru General Services Limited, which were tasked with delivering the project, as it will have a designated entry and exit points for both vehicles and pedestrians. Currently, the city has 3 public taxi parks: Old Taxi Park, New Taxi Park, and Busafi Taxi Park. The rest of the taxi parks across the city's 5 divisions are privately owned. Sandra Kahunde, UBC News.
Still in business, Uganda's tourism sector is grappling with adverse economic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, with many tourist hubs filling the brunt. In Jinja City, one of the country's best tourist hubs, construction of the Simba hydropower dam has led to the relocation and closure of some of the tourist activities and services.
With the latest additions of hydropower dams along the Nile, Isimba and Bujagali, communities within the project's vicinity have been affected socially and economically. In Jinja City, some of the tourism activities, such as water rafting, have been heavily impacted.
People are under the mistaken impression that rafting is finished, but it hasn't. It's still here. Yeah. But with the Isimba Dam, the perception within people in the country is that the rafting had finished, where it hasn't. And the rafting is probably was the main tourist attraction in Jinja. And so when people came to Jinja, they might stay for a couple of days and do rafting and then maybe horse riding or quad biking or mountain biking. But these days, it's a struggle to convince people just to come to Jinja.
In the beginning, in November 2019, the water level was rising slowly several times a day. Later on, this place could not be used anymore as the water levels wouldn't go back down. As you can see here on the Babon logo, the water levels are pretty high.
Despite these challenges, the tourism and hospitality players in Jinja City have devised ways to circumnavigate the situation.
We had to be creative and innovative to survive these issues. We therefore utilize this area here and create a new beautiful environment for our customers in the so-called jungle.
Nonetheless, the current COVID-19 pandemic has helped propel domestic tourism within the region.
Since COVID-19, our fellow Ugandans are enjoying the beauty of their country more and more, which we can see in the number of guests in our restaurants enjoying the fresh fish straight from the source of River Nile.
Ugandans would never come and see us before, and we struggled to try and promote horse riding amongst our national population. But these days, now our business is about 99% Ugandan clients, which is great. Because people are taking the effort to come out and do something that they're a little bit afraid of to begin with, but once they've done it, they feel that it's a nice, easy, relaxing way to see a little bit of Uganda that they might not have seen before.
Over 46,000 Ugandans working in the tourism sector lost their jobs in 2020 due to the current global pandemic. Worldwide, the tourism industry lost over $80 billion in revenue, with a 57% reduction in arrivals. Robin Yoso, Charlotte Moge compiled this report.
And with that very story, we end our lunchtime bulletin. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango. Thank you so much for choosing us this afternoon. It's a good afternoon for now, but stay tuned.
You may have heard of physical distancing. This means keeping at least 2 arms length apart from other people at all times to reduce the spread of coronavirus.